Yo, I'm sorry, y'all. Who's 4 extra? Who's 4 extra? Can you guys tell me? I just saw. Let's see if we can make this look a little better. I just saw his him blow his hand off. What the heck? With fireworks. Who is that? Is that a celebrity? They said. I just know he's a rapper. Is he a well-known rapper? Hold on, let me see if I heard him before. Let's see here. Oops. 4 extra. Let's see, 4 extra song. All right, let's see. Off the back, 181,000. Okay, maybe. Rimble? Wait, I think I know Rimble. Sorry guys, I'm like listening to it right now. I don't know if I know this person. Hold on. I'm kind of vibing right now. Okay, I have no idea. All right, here's another 4 extra. Oh, is off the back the only song he has? Like, is he well known or what? Like, I don't know. It seems extraordinarily underground. Featuring Adam 22. Kagato? Wait. Is Adam 22 rap? I don't know. When will you change his background music? I don't know, man. It'd have to, I don't know. I have to find something. Excuse me. The heck? Gang member pressed Adam 22 at no jumper. Okay, let me get off all this. Oh, man. Carter Bryant reminds me of Trevor Ariza. He reminds a lot of people of Trevor Ariza, believe it or not. So, all right, guys. So, full transparency. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be completely honest. I would never lie to you. I didn't really enjoy the Summer League game that much. I don't know what it was. Usually, I'm like all in it, but I wasn't really. But yeah, I just keyed in on Carter and how well did he do. I mean, he played good defense. It was no new information from what I already know from him. But basically, you can just chalk it up to the young guys getting some reps, right? He didn't look perfect. Struggled a little bit offensively, but doesn't matter. Like, he was fine. Defensively, he looked really solid. So, yeah. So, I was thinking maybe we can just take a look at what he had to say after that game in particular. And maybe we'll get some information. Any type of information. So, here we go. I am curious to see how he felt after this game. So, first time playing NBA basketball. Let's see what Carter has to say. And chat, if you got any opinions, you leave them in the chat. Leave them in the chat. By the way, let me bring this up. If you guys can, please join the Discord server. Two things I need from you. Join the Discord server. Link below. Okay, we got like close to 1,000 Spurs fans in there, literally. So go join that. We got some really great mods over there to make sure conversations are always popping. So go join that. It's kind of like an after party, right? So, when we're not live streaming, you can go to Discord and talk to other Spurs fans and all that good stuff. Also, follow Spurs Invasion. All right, Spurs Invasion. Go over to the YouTube channel Spurs Invasion and follow. Okay, that's my second channel. All right, let's take a look at what he has to say.
How's it going?
Good.
Yeah, your first day out. What do you think? What's your impressions?
Man, it was fun. I mean, it's going to be tough. First time out playing against grown men. Guys that are going to be smarter, faster, stronger than you, all those things. So I think for me, everything was a learning experience. I got to be smarter a lot of times. A lot of the mistakes I made were just mental errors. So I think for me moving forward, I just got to look back at this film and make adjustments.
This might be a silly question, but
So confident. These guys that are in lottery are just a different breed.
were there any nerves at all before this one?
Genuinely, there weren't.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, usually before every game, I get some butterflies before I go out there, but there was no nerves for me. I was just excited to go and play basketball. I haven't got to play basketball since.
Carter Bryant getting interviewed by Morty? Like from Rick and Morty? I don't know, Carter. I think you could have done better.
We lost to Duke at Arizona, so for me to have Spurs across my chest and be able to represent one of the most storied franchises in NBA history, it was just, I was ready to go and compete.
And then like 23 seconds.
It's a summer league game, man. It's actually not that serious. I feel like a lot of people with summer league, it's like way too high or way too low when it comes to summer league. Like I recall people from the Get like saying Blake Wesley was absolute trash, right? And then I think it was the second summer league, and then everyone was like, oh my God, Blake Wesley is about to be a star. And it's like, it's the summer league, okay? This is just a good way for him to get reps. A lot of guys that are in the summer league are trying to get signed themselves. Well, a lot of guys. Most of the guys are trying to get signed themselves. So they're going to be a little bit more selfish at times too. I noticed that. Like some guys just kind of taking shots that they shouldn't have taken, right? But Carter Bryant, he has a spot on the team, right? So this is mainly for him, this is just getting reps, getting used to NBA speed and all that good stuff. But he'll be fine. I think that we'll see way more once we get to preseason. But right now, the things that Carter Bryant are going to struggle with, and I brought this up before we even drafted him, was ball handling. He's going to struggle with that at times. But all the positives, it's like his three-point shooting, there's upside there, but we haven't really gotten to see him take a large amount of those, but we know he can shoot. He's capable of it, just a lot of upside. But defense is what he's going to be able to hang his hat on. Like that's the main thing he'll be able to hang his hat on. Everything outside of that, he's going to struggle a little bit, right? Is he a great decision maker? I think he is. I think he's a very smart decision maker, smart player, high basketball IQ. Is he a good shooter? I think he is. Okay. I think he has a lot of upside there, and I think he can shoot. Got good shooting for him and all that. It's just going to take some time, It's going to take a minute. It's going to take a minute. That's why, like, some guys, you just kind of. I'll talk about it in a minute.
Later in, there's this big long delay with the scoreboard. What was that like? What are you guys doing?
It's part of the game.
Yeah.
Stuff gonna happen every once in a while, so I'm not too worried about it.
What are your impressions of just the way you performed and the way you played? Do you feel like you did what you came to do today, or?
I mean, there's always room for improvement.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing for me. Like, I could have had 40. I could have scored 0 points. There's always room for improvement for me. I could have made better decisions on the ball. Could have made better.
I love that so much. Oh my God.
Decisions defensively. I got to be smarter with my fouls. Got to stay more, mentally aware of certain things. I got to understand the scout a little bit better. I feel like I did a good job of that at college, but it's a different level of basketball. The game's getting played at a lot faster pace. So obviously just making that adjustment and getting better game by game. I mean, this one game isn't going to define my whole career.
Yeah, of course.
Once the game, I love this. I love his mentality. Oh my God, guys. We're just going to be praising him for his entire career. I'm not going to lie to you. But I do love what he's saying. And yeah, once the game slows down for him, it's just easier, right? It'll just make everything so much easier. I don't know if it'll come to him as quick as it did for Castle, right? I don't think that based on, what I've seen from Carter Bryant. Now for Dylan Harper, he's a day one, y'all. I don't care. I don't care what anyone says. He's a day one. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, okay?
Coach was saying that he thought the foul stuff was just being aggressive, and he doesn't mind that if you're going to make aggressive
Yeah,
fouls. Is that kind of what you take away from it?
for sure. But it's got to be a smart aggressive. Like a
I
lot
got
of them
you.
were dumb aggressive mistakes. To be completely honest with you, so I think the biggest thing for me is just making that adjustment, moving forward.
Shouldn't be hard for him because he's actually fundamentally solid defensively, right? Like, but yeah, what makes me excited about Carter is I feel like some people that try to bring up like, is he better than Sohan? First off, no. I hope he can be just like any player. I hope every player on our team could be better than the next one. Like I don't care. He's a Spur, right? I love him just as much. But one thing that does get me excited about Carter is he does have solid defensive chops when it comes to fundamentals. But you know how Sohan has like great fundamental defense, but he doesn't like cause a lot of turnovers. Like he just gives you really good contests. He tries not to be like too handsy, right, to get in foul trouble. Carter Bryant is one where he has that good fundamental defense, but he also can, strip the ball away from you as well. So we're going to see some big dynamic plays from him. But yeah, in this game in particular, he just seemed a little nervous, right? Like guys made like slight moves and he overly committed at times on defense. It's all right. It happens.
You think of playing for Coach so far?
I love Coach.
Yeah.
He's intense. He's fiery. He gets after it, and I love it.
Thank you, Mario. Mario said Brunson had a 27 field goal percentage in Summer League. Yeah, it's the Summer League.
Well, you can ask for a coach. Somebody who wants to compete and win just as much as you. Obviously, we didn't win tonight, but, I mean, it is what it is. You got to prepare for the big thing in Vegas, but you obviously got to move forward and learn from all your mistakes.
When the real season starts, he's going to be your development guy. Do you feel like you're going to have a good working relationship with him going forward and looking forward to that?
Definitely. I think even with Coach Mike, and then even with the rest of the staff that's here with the Summer League team, I mean, I built great connections, so I'm just ready to get to work with everybody.
Seeing Rashard Lewis was kind of weird. So what I was going to say earlier, I guess I'll just let this play and mute it. So what I was going to say earlier was like when I think about the lottery this season, it's like this every year as well. There's certain players that end up falling. And they're not falling because they're bad players, but they're falling based on circumstance, right? A lot of teams in this lottery in particular wanted to take higher swings, and they wanted more need. So there were teams that needed a improved front court, right? So they focused in on power forwards and centers. There were teams that wanted to take higher risk because the San Antonio Spurs and Mavericks actually weren't supposed to be that high in the draft, right? So it messed up a lot of people's plans where they're like, okay, we just need some swings. Hopefully this player will end up being great, right? But Carter Bryant was one where I think the reason why he fell, he was supposed to be about 8th, but I think the reason why he fell was because he's a role player. Like he's a high ceiling role player. He has upside, but I think most people would agree that getting him, he's not necessarily the player that's going to change your franchise as far as like big swings go, right? So at the end of the day, you're flipping a coin for somebody like Igor Dimon, who I think is Dimon, or is it Dimon? I think it's Dimon. Like Igor Dimon, right? You take somebody like that, he's a huge swing, but if he doesn't pan out, he's not going to be in the NBA, right? Like it's like hot or cold with that type of player. But then you take Carter Bryant, I think he's going to be in the NBA regardless. But right now, teams saw him as a role player, right? So I think that's really what it came down to. He deserved to be higher in the draft, but because of how it panned out with us and then some of the other trades that happened, he just ended up falling, right? So I think that our expectations I don't want to say it needs to be lower when it comes to Carter Bryant, because I think he's really good. I just think that a lot of us need to realize that he is a role player for us right now. And will he be more than that? Does it matter? Probably doesn't matter that much. But that's what we're looking at right now. But now as far as Dylan Harper, if you want to get your expectations high for that, I do not blame you, because he is legit. That is going to be a superstar. I personally think he's going to be a superstar, multi-all-star. So, but yeah, Carter Bryant is one where more of a role player than anything. So, but a really good one. Hopefully a Bruce Bowen type. Exactly. We don't need him to be more than the role player. That's another reason why I'm not worried about ball handling, right? We have guys that can do that. Okay, so we also have the coach. Okay, cool. Yeah, we also have the coach. So, oh, wait. You know, we didn't listen to Harrison Ingram. Oh, and this is the all access thing people mentioned. Nah, screw it. Yeah, screw it. Let's listen to Coach Mike. I want to see what he has to say. I'm sure he has a lot to say about Carter Bryant, right? They said that he's going to be his developmental coach. All right, let's listen. Let's listen. What you got to say?
How we doing?
Good. I guess you're going to be talking to this thing. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
This is so interesting. Just your general thoughts on how things went the first night out and kind of a summer league opener.
Who does he look like? There's like a movie villain or like TV villain that I'm thinking of. I don't know. It's unsettling. It's like, what's really going on in your head? Yeah, it's unsettling. He's trying to be human right now. Eggman? He looks like Norman Bates. He does look like Norman Bates. Val Kilmer? No, he looks like Norman Bates. Hold on. Mom, are you listening? I love you. I never meant to hit you over the head with that shovel. I love Eminem, y'all. Greatest rapper of all time. A little bit. A little bit. A little bit. He's trying to relate to people right now. He's trying his best to smile.
How things went the first night out and kind of a summer league
Might be good to have a lunatic on our team.
opener for both
course.
teams, right?
Yeah, no, it was a fun first game.
Coach Anthony
Good to
Perkins,
see
yeah.
everyone get in the game. I thought our guys played hard, executed the game plan. Early on, generated a lot of great looks. I mean, it was catch and shoot 3 after 3, and they just didn't fall tonight. I think 6 for 32 from 3.
He all of a sudden just switches and starts speaking as if he's his mother. Norman!
We will shoot better, and we will shoot with confidence. So I was happy with
Sorry,
that.
guys.
As the game went on, turnovers hurt us. I think we had 15 turnovers the last 3 quarters. So not only are we not getting a shot up, the other team's getting an easy look on the other end, but really happy with how our guys played tonight.
What did you make of Carter Bryant's first night out, 19 years old, getting his feet wet?
Time to smile again.
Yeah, the first game, you always have so much energy, and it's a little bit of nerves, excitement. So when as expected, we got the utmost confidence in him. Miami was funky with their matchup, so a little bit of their...
I think he killed it. What if he just answered like that? I personally think he killed it. That would be something. That would be scary. I'm being stupid. Let's actually listen. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let's go back a little bit.
5, most confident.
not be immature.
It's a little bit of nerves, excitement. So when as expected, we got the utmost confidence in him. Miami was funky with their matchup, so a little bit of their 5s on Carter and Harrison tonight, so it took a bit to figure that one out. But I thought he was great. Again, his defense can continue to improve. We're going to always challenge him with the other team's priority matchup.
How did you think he did defensively?
How the heck are you gonna? How are you gonna deal with the Spurs a couple years from now, man? How are you gonna deal with them? How? Because like Sohan can guard your best player, and then you have Carter Bryant. Like if Sohan sits, Carter Bryant can come in, or them together would be ridiculous. How do you like deal with? How are you gonna deal with this? I'm hoping. I don't know if guys will do it, but you know, hopefully they get enough sponsorships or whatnot. I'm hoping that guys will take pay cuts in the future, like somewhat. You know. I hope that's how it looks. I hope that's how it looks. I wouldn't be surprised if Wemby did that. I would not be surprised if Wemby did that. I mean, he's gonna, regardless of what he makes in the NBA, he's gonna make a lot of money even outside the NBA. So, hate the new CBA. If anything will prevent our dynasty, it's that. No. Don't worry about it. Everyone's dealing with it. You know, the difference between us and a lot of other teams is we have Wembanyama. And I know that sounds cocky and arrogant, but like just think about what he brings. And individual players have so much of an impact in basketball. rather like a lot of other sports, just you don't have that amount of impact. He's going to absolutely destroy teams. So as long as you can just keep some of these guys together, right? Just a few of them. And I wouldn't be surprised if Wemby did take some pay cuts. I mean, he doesn't have to, right? Like, I'm not an advocate for that, but yeah. Would you take a pay cut? If I was like Wembanyama, I say let them do what's best for them. I don't know, bro. It's like, I don't know. I don't think so. Like, are the owners taking a pay cut? I probably wouldn't. I'm just saying, you know, noticing the Spurs over the years. I mean, we've had multitude of guys that did that. So maybe they take. I guess I would take like the benefits of being with San Antonio and weigh that as well, right? Because it's a really great franchise. I don't know. The new cap is bad. I think that they really had to take a swing because of how bad things have gotten in the NBA, right? And they wanted to improve parity, so they just went all out on it. But I think some of the things that they put in there in those clauses, they can pull back a little bit, right? But I understand why the NBA did it. Like, these dynasties were not fun to watch, bro. It wasn't fun to just know who's going to be in the finals every single year. But I do think that the Spurs, our superstar, is that good that, yeah, you can manage. And it's also going to take a lot of foresight as well, right? Like, I think a lot of teams that are getting screwed right now didn't really prepare for the CBA, whereas the San Antonio Spurs, they definitely did. Even with some of the contracts that we have, like the Keldon contract, the Vassell contract, like, I think that they prepared for it pretty well. So yeah. I don't know. That's my arrogance speaking, maybe a little bit of bias. But I just think Wemby's that good, right? So, like, even if we lose quite a bit of talent, as he improves and we can just keep a couple of the guys, a few of the guys, I think that we'll be totally fine. You know what I mean? I mean, he's just that impactful on both ends. Bron was always going to be in the finals in his prime. CBA wouldn't have stopped him. I don't know. Some of these teams, these super teams, were kind of ridiculous, though. I like this better. I do like the NBA better. You know, all of us are being selfish right now. We'll still have our dynasty. Don't worry. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Like, Wemby's that good.
He picked up, as we know, he picked up a bunch of fouls, which
he has big sponsorship, so I definitely can see it. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, maybe he'll be willing to take some of these pay cuts to continue to win, because he's going to make a stupid amount of money through basketball or otherwise, or other ventures outside of that. Like, he's going to be rich forever. He's already set to be rich forever. So, yeah, I don't know.
I don't care about. I'd rather err on the side of being aggressive. He got beat a few times to strong hand drives, 1 or 2 rejects. But at the end of the day, he's out there competing, and he cares so much, and he's a winner. And so he will keep getting better over the course of summer.
Do you see those fouls as just being a product of being aggressive? And
Yeah. And as with every summer league team, foul count goes up in summer league because you get 10 of them.
Yeah.
So naturally, we want to be more aggressive. We don't really care if he fouls, as long as it's because he's trying to make the right play for the team.
And it's something.
Now, if they're worth max contract, they won't accept pay cut. Example, Doncic or Wemby. I'm not saying, okay, I hope you guys know the difference. I'm not saying that Wemby is in the wrong if he doesn't take a pay cut. Like, I don't feel that way. I think it's cringe when we start doing that with players, right? As far as asking me personally, I don't know if I'm in that situation. I'm assuming I at least how I feel about things, I think I would take it. But I don't think that they're in the wrong whether they take it or not. Like, I'm not really one of those people. I'm just saying that our franchise, there's a lot of benefit with it. Like, even Dylan Harper talking about how the culture is so much different than around the NBA. He talks to other NBA players. He has a father who's been in the NBA, right, and won championships. So these guys, yes, they're going to do what's best for them. They're going to make sure that they're taken care of. But there is an incentive to possibly take a pay cut with San Antonio because of how the culture is with the Spurs. Whereas with another team, you're like, screw it. Screw that. Pay me. Pay me. But it's not really like that with the Spurs. But I'm not saying he's wrong. I don't know. Hope you guys know what I'm saying.
Something happened to Harrison Ingram, or was that just part of the
part of the plan? Yeah, part of the plan. He, I think it was a groin tweak, very precautionary. He's 100%. If we needed him the whole day, he would have went. But the plan was play 12, 14 minutes coming in.
What are you looking for him overall throughout the summer, Harrison?
Well, I tell you what, he's put in so much work over the last, I think it was
Max. Okay, Max, I won't accept that. Max says, I say he should get all he's worth, whether he's here or somewhere else. He deserves every penny he worked for. Can't be selfish if we really rooting for the guy. I'm sorry, I don't care. If Wemby leaves the San Antonio Spurs, I no longer care. Will I still like him? Sure. Like, same with Derek White, right? But like, I don't care anymore. No, dude. Come on. Screw that. Like, if we can't be selfish, we got to root for screw that. What? Now, I'm not going to look, players, owners, coaches, all that, they make a lot of money. All right. They make a stupid amount of money, more money than you even need. All right. So I don't know. I'm just not going to go that crazy about this. All right. All right. I'm not saying you're wrong if you don't take a pay cut. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is they do make a lot of money. Okay? They'll be all right. Their families will not starve. I promise you that. But anyways, Wemby probably will take. Somebody mentioned he got like Tim Duncan mentality. He probably would take. Probably. Just for the benefit. Just so he can keep winning. He care about winning that much. But they have so many sponsorships. Like, it's a boatload of money, whether it's with us or just sponsorships, man. Yeah, I'm a Spurs fan at the end of the day. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care what happens. Wemby fans who aren't also Spurs fans are the worst. Well, I don't know if this person is a clan. It's like you will support your channel whether here or in Japan. You worked hard and deserve the flowers. LOL. That's not the same. That's not the same. Guys, it would be like me changing my name from Clan the Spurs fan to Clan the Kings fan, okay? And now all we do is talk about the Kings. Are you going to support that? I mean, maybe. You might say, hey, I wish the best for you, Clan, but, like, I'm not really going to pay attention that much. Like, that's probably what happened. Like, no. It's not just location, okay? Now, that was my argument. You remember when I said if the San Antonio Spurs became like the Austin Spurs or something, which that's not going to happen, but if they became the Austin Spurs, I said I would still be a fan. Remember we had that whole discourse and people were really angry with me about that? I said that's just location, right? They're still the Spurs. This is the same franchise, same players, just in a different location. If they're the freaking Mexico City Spurs, like, I'm still going to support them. I don't care where you're at, right? Like, that's how I felt. But like, changing a whole nother team, that's a difference. That's not just location. No, I ain't watching Kings news. Exactly. Come on. Yeah. I would stop supporting the Spurs if they move. That'd be a huge betrayal of our city. Okay, I don't have that hang up. If the Spurs became... Okay, we are not going back to this discourse. I remember you guys were really angry with me on my take about this.
9 weeks leading up to training camp. He was in the gym as much as anyone on our team. We think he's improved his shot. We think he's improved as a defender. So it's everything we've worked on the first phase of the summer, just carrying over to the game. And it was good to see him out there tonight.
He's one of those guys that's been through the program for a year.
Yeah.
Do you look at him as a guy that can kind of show the newer guys the ropes and that sort of thing? Just
Yeah, he's great. I mean, we got him and Riley as our returners. And then the beauty of this team, I mean, everyone looks at the San Antonio team. Yeah. We have so many Austin guys on this team. So a lot of them have played together. It's a tight-knit group. We feel together. And whether we win or lose, especially in San Francisco, it's about getting better. So everyone's record is 0-0 going into Vegas. This was a good day of practice for us.
He does look like Anthony Perkins. I was telling you he looks like a villain. I just didn't know who. Clan, do you live in San Antonio? No, I don't. That's because you ain't from San Antonio, clan. I don't care. I don't care. You don't know how much I don't care. It's like the Memphis Grizzlies, right? Like, I'm from Memphis originally, and I really like the Grizzlies. Like, even now, I like the Grizzlies. But I have a cousin who's like a fanatic, Grizzlies fanatic. He even said himself, he was like, if they move, like, I'm still a Grizzlies fan. Like, he's like, I love the franchise, I love the players, and I feel the same way. Like, yeah, it would suck, you know, it would suck, but I would still support them, especially if they're like right down the street. That was my point. Because San Antonio, Austin is what, like, how far is it, y'all? 4 hours? 3 hours? You guys will know. How far is Austin from San Antonio, chat? I like having a chat here so I don't have to Google anything. It's like an hour away. It's an hour. It's an hour and a half. Boo-hoo. You'll be okay. All right? Hour and a half. You'll be okay. 90 minutes in traffic. You'll be all right. Okay? I'm sorry. That's not even the length of a film. I'm sorry. Okay? Listen to a couple podcasts and you can get to your Spurs game. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sure I'm going to get heat for this, but traffic is bad. I am so sorry that the Spurs move an hour away and you can no longer watch your San Antonio Spurs. I am so, now you have to watch the Austin Spurs. I am so sorry. You can't understand if you're not from here, period. I'm sorry, dude. An hour away is nothing. Let's see. Let me think. Memphis. The Memphis Grizzlies moved an hour away. What's an hour from Memphis? What would be like? I don't know. Arlington? No, Arlington's like 40 minutes. Cordova? Cordova might be like 40 minutes. I don't know. Let's just say it's from where they are right now, and they moved to Cordova or something. Like, that's like 45 minutes away. Boo-hoo. Nashville? No, Nashville from Memphis is like 3-4 hours, but that's a fine one too. I think it's about 3 something hours. That's a fine example. Now, that's a pretty long way though. It's a little longer than San Antonio to Austin. They're not going to Austin, by the way, and I don't want them to leave. I'm just saying I would still support. For me, it's the city itself. I love Austin. I live there, but I don't want the Spurs to be there. They could be in a other city, but Austin. You just feel like Austin got too much already or something? I'm curious about that. Once we build the Wemby Center downtown, they guarantee the Spurs stay at least another generation. Spurs aren't going anywhere. This is just hypothetical speaking, okay? But the reason why I got a lot of heat is because I said that you're not a real Spurs. I said you're not a real Spurs fan if you don't support the Spurs if they moved an hour away. I'll drive to Austin for Spurs fan game. Exactly. See, David's a real one. I would support the Spurs whether here or Austin. People support the sorry Cowboys and they don't play for this city at all. Hey, that's true too. Yeah, aren't you a fan of other teams that don't play in San Antonio? If they move cities, you wouldn't care. If they move to your city, you wouldn't care. It's not the distance, dude. You don't care about your local team. The Spurs are an integral part of San Antonio's culture and community. I understand that. I get it. I do get it. I know I'm being mean. I do get it. I'm just saying, wouldn't you still love them even if they left? You just no longer watch them anymore? Anyways. All right. Ending it. All right, let's see here. It would depend on how the move happened. Yeah, like if they weren't getting enough, which they do, but if they didn't get like enough support from San Antonio fans, I think that would be a little bit different than it was just like pure business venture. Okay, so here is. So someone sent this to me. I couldn't find who sent it. This is Locked on Spurs. I have no idea what this is about. I have no idea, but we're gonna listen. So this Jeff Garcia and Casey Vieira. I don't know what this is.
If we're going by the draft, which they knocked out of the park, they knocked that out of the park. We're going by free agency. They filled a hole that they need, not a glaring one, but someone that fits in well. You give it an A.
Interesting.
Because I gave.
Did he say interesting? Wait, does he disagree? Does he disagree that it's an A? It's an obvious A. It's an A++. Interesting?
The draft an A. I give the draft an A, and nothing else. Not a whole lot's really happened. You know, if it comes up in a situation, maybe as falling out of frame over here. Yeah, as the off season goes on.
This is after. Wait, this is after. This has to be after we got Luke Cornett, right? This has to be after we got Luke Cornett.
And maybe the Giannis thing becomes a conversation again.
Giannis?
And Giannis slips through the cracks, potentially, or something like that, and they have a very reasonable chance at getting him. Then I might reevaluate that grade. But in the meantime, for what it is right now, I think it's been a strong offseason for the Spurs. I think
I am so confused by this. What? All right, so from this little clip, I'm assuming... Wait, did I miss something? Okay, so from this little clip, I'm assuming that Garcia disagrees that it's an A. Okay, first off, the Spurs have an A+ offseason so far. Okay, has a few players that we weren't able to get. Sure, like Larry Nance. Not much we could have done about that. Yabusele, obviously that didn't pan out how we wanted. But overall, it has been a phenomenal offseason. Like, I think that Luke Cornett isn't just a need. Obviously, he's a need, but he's not just a need. There's so many things about him that shows how good he is. Like, we went over this before, but like he was number 2 in the NBA as far as a pick and roll combo with Tatum. He's a great offensive rebounder. I think that he was 4th in offensive rebounds with players under 20 minutes per game. Another thing about him too is I'm trying to think of everything. As far as being a deterrent at the rim, he's like 4th in the NBA at that as far as field goal percentage next to a defender. Like, he's ridiculous. He was just behind Dylan Daniel Garland. Gosh, I can't. Daniel. It's Garland. Gosh, who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of Darius Garland. Who am I thinking of? It was behind Chet Holmgren, Victor Wembanyama, Gafford. There we go. Thank you. Behind Gafford, as far as 4th field goal percentage, defensive field goal percentage. So like, I don't quite understand here. This was a phenomenal offseason. Can the Spurs add like another player to add a little bit more depth? Yeah, sure. I hope so. But overall, this was perfect. I don't think there was anything wrong with our offseason. And I think Luke Cornett fits with us personality-wise, culturally, but also just what he brings is going to be very important. Though that 15-minute stretch where Wemby can sit is huge, because there were so many games where we would just be destroying a team, killing their momentum, nothing they can do because of Wemby alone defensively, right? Obviously, we got other great defenders, but Wemby alone just affects so much on both ends of the court. And it was just like teams' whole game plan has to change because he's on the court. And then when he's set, they would just grab the momentum right back. They would try to score as quickly as they possibly can because like Wemby's sitting, right? So like, this is huge. This isn't just, oh, we just need this player and things be. No, like, this is a spot. We got the best backup center available. I don't know. I think a lot of people are downplaying this a little bit. You know? I don't know. We should have gotten at least 5 more stars, Clan. Yeah, exactly. Come on, be sensible. Yeah, we should have got at least 5 more. Like, I don't really know what's wrong with this offseason. Do people agree with this? Ain't nobody really commented on it. Someone did agree. Agreed. Giannis, while well, keeping our core 4 to 6 guys. Him going to become a star and join us when Giannis is 36 at the end of the rookie deal. What? And I don't know how sold I am about getting Giannis either. I don't get this. What does this mean? 100%? Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Celtics have nothing but love for Cornette. That's another example of how good he is because they're going crazy about him leaving. So, yeah. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Hold on. Oh, Clan, you're my fave Spurs channel, though. Not gonna lie. Thanks, man. Clan, what do you think of Harrison Ingram on the court? He was okay. There was nothing that really stood out to me. I didn't have that much fun in this game. I'm sorry for saying that. Sorry for saying what? Kobe and Primo have one thing in common. So bad, bro. All right, let's continue this. I promised I would. I promised I would continue this. So we must continue. Let's listen to what Jeremy Sohan has to say. Jeremy Sohan, off-season plans and Euro basketball. We got to do another segment of this. By the way, if you guys can, join the Discord, link in the description, right? There's like 1,000 Spurs fans in there at the moment. That would be great. And also follow Spurs Invasion. I think, did we get past 4K on that channel? Do you guys know? Let's see. I'm going to check. I'm going to check right now. If my internet speeds up. All right. Spurs Invasion. We did. We made it to 4K. So thanks, guys. Just keep it going. Keep it going. But yeah, go follow Spurs Invasion. Much love. Much love. All the love in the world. I appreciate it. All right. Let's listen here.
As you head into this summer, obviously it's a big summer from a Eurobasket perspective.
Yeah, huge.
Kind of what are your plans now? Like we're in, what are we?
By the way, this is the greatest interviewer of all time.
15th of May today.
Yeah.
Kind of what's your schedule looking like?
Any new second channel videos? I just uploaded one, and I'm working on another one soon. So
over the coming weeks, then I guess looking ahead to Eurobasket, what are your hopes for Poland?
Yeah.
Ooh, my heart.
Schedule, it's crazy. We
It says Spurs Digest over Clan. Oh, my heart. My heart.
have such a long off season. We finished in April. Unfortunately, we didn't make the playoffs, but the season don't start until October. So that's a lot of time to just be free. I stayed in San Antonio for the first few weeks, just working out. Then I, was lucky to get the Philippines opportunity. That was really cool. Now I'm here in London, England. I'm here until Wednesday, and then I go on vacation to Spain for a little bit. But after that, I think June, that's when, the work really starts. And of course, now I'm
So this is a while ago.
working, I'm maintaining. It's important to, be consistent with that. But I'm going to go back to America in June. and it's gonna be straight work. I feel like for me, I have a lot to prove to myself and to everyone else too. I feel like when I look at myself, last season was, there was lots of ups and downs, injuries. For me, I have a lot more to give. So it's going to be a lot about, working out, kind of building that self.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I crashed out about something. I'm gonna bring this up. I'm gonna bring it up right now. It's like in the middle of this segment, but the reason being is because of everything that he's saying. It's like this dude works so hard and he's actually a really good player. And it really bothers me. And there's something that keeps coming up, and I crashed out on Twitter about it. So let me bring this up. It's pissed me off. It happens all the time. And people are saying like, oh, I'm over exaggerating, or it makes sense for them to do this. I'm getting tired of it. It happens way too often, y'all. So I saw this graphic and I just thought it was weird. The reason why I thought it was weird is because Sohan is never in this. So this is Bleacher Report, and mainstream media seems to always leave him out. Like, it's gotten to the point where it is disrespectful. And I know that people see this and they're like, what do you mean? Like, this is the newcomer. This is the rookie of the year. And that's Wemby. It's like, okay, Fox hasn't really played with Wemby that much, but it's like Fox. Okay, people know Fox. It's like recognizable names. But all I take from this is that this is just casual. This is just casual nonsense. It's just casual nonsense. So I don't like it. I don't like the fact that he is left out of conversations continuously. And some people that have the audacity to say, well, they leave him out because he's a bad player. It's like, no, mainstream media leaves him out because they don't actually watch the San Antonio Spurs play. That's why they leave him out. There's been so many times that I've heard mainstream media just say things that are objectively, just incorrect. Like, I remember them having that conversation about who's better, Wemby or Chet, and actually allowing discussions around this, right? Actually pushing that nonsense. And then when they when someone asked them, or when they mentioned the young core with San Antonio, they mentioned guys that I don't know if you would consider part of the young core anymore, right? Like, I've heard them say Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson. It's like, yeah, they're young, but they're not. If you've been watching the games, we know Spurs fans aren't the highest on those two, right? It's just, I don't know. It's just really dumb to me. It drives me crazy. It happens all the time too. They never bring him up. And I know he's more of a nuanced character, nuanced player, right? Like, he's not somebody that's going to give you crazy box scores, but when he's never brought up ever, it just gives me the vibe that they don't actually watch at all. They don't know what's going on. And then people are like, well, Clan, this is our top 4 right here. I'm like, if they're saying this is going to be our starting lineup, which I'm assuming that's what they're trying to do with this, why not just add him in the mix? It's just dumb to me. Also leads to people saying trade Sohan the whole time in chat. Well, it definitely it makes these people feel like they're correct, because they kind of wait. A lot of times people wait for mainstream media to say something. It's absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. But I think it's a very casual take to say that Sohan is trash, especially statistic wise. You could compare him to other players throughout Spurs history that no one would have even suggested trading. Bruce Bowen, you can look at their stats. Sohan's is better than a 33-year-old Bruce Bowen, statistic wise. Now, I understand the nuance of Bruce Bowen, okay? I understand the nuance of Bruce Bowen. But the casuals always bring up stats. They always bring up box score stats in particular, not just stats. Analytics are another thing. If they looked up analytics, in-depth analytics, they wouldn't be able to say Sohan's bad. But box score, they always bring up box score. You compare him to other players that we've had that's been role players, he has a better box score. Love me some Bruce. I do love me some Bruce Bowen. So, yeah. It's just dumb, bro. It drives me crazy, y'all. I crashed out about this. And there were so many people that were, well, I guess it was quite a few people that did agree. But there was a lot of people that were just like not agreeing with me. Bro, you want them to show Sohan next to 4 potential current stars? It's like, I don't think people understand that this was like icing on the cake for me. Like, this is the final time I was just like, okay, this is ridiculous. Because it happens all the time. It's not just one graphic. I remember when we got Barnes and Chris Paul, they showed our starting lineup and left Sohan out. They don't know he exists. They don't know he exists. They have no idea. Gosh, and for these and for mainstream media to just praise Wemby all the time, it really shows me that they don't even actually watch these games, that they don't know who Wemby plays with. They just look at highlights and like, well, Wemby's incredible, which he is incredible, obviously, but it's like, good God, you don't even know who he plays for or plays with. All right. Somebody said this interview is irrelevant. I don't think it's irrelevant. I like this interview.
Of confidence. And then, like you said, you know, Eurobasket, that's late August, but, you know, we start preparations in July. So it's going to be a busy summer, but I'm super excited. And, you know, Eurobasket.
And it's also frustrating, chat, that we can see and recognize how good Castle is, right? We can recognize how good Castle is, but Castle's stats suck. But we know how good he is. I don't understand why we can see the nuance with certain players and can't see it with others. What is it about Castle that we can see the nuance? Because I agree that Castle's great. But no one brings up box score with Castle. Which they shouldn't. But then Sohan gets it. Sohan can't shoot? Castle can't shoot. Castle can't shoot. Castle was one of the worst shooters in the NBA. No, he is one of the worst shooters in the NBA. We looked at a graph on that. I think he was like, I think Castle was number 1. It was a threshold of how many shots you had to take, but I think he was number 1 last time we checked, and then like Keldon was like 7 or something. Castle just tough, bro. See, it's just a vibe. It's just a vibe, bro. I have no idea what's going on with that. It's just a vibe.
We can do something too.
How are you feeling about the squad that you've got going to Eurobasket? Obviously, I looked up the group that you're in. You've got
pretty good group.
It is a pretty good group. I remember you got France and Slovenia in there, and Belgium, Iceland.
Castle is flashy, Sohan is not. Y'all think Castle's flashy? I don't really think Castle's that flashy.
Yeah. Israel. Is Wemby playing for France? He announced he's playing for France. I don't know.
Excuse me. I'm not sure. You know, he had the blood clot situation. You know, thank God he's all good.
Yeah.
He's, you know, rehabbing and working out. I'm not sure if he's going to be cleared for that. I know, talking to him, he wants to.
Yeah. But that'd be sick if you got to play each other.
No, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. I know we're playing Georgia, Mamu, my Sandro. He's my teammate. We're playing them in like preparation games.
Okay.
Poor Sohan. I know he was upset when he left.
Actually in Poland, so that'll be pretty cool.
Sick.
But yeah, no, it's gonna be, you know, the group is tough.
Eric, maybe that's what it is. Castle got the dunk contest popularity boost, maybe. But like the sickest dunk, and I'm not saying this just being, you know, a Sohan stan, but the best dunk that I've seen from a Spurs player over the course of the last 3 years came from Sohan. So, I don't know. I swear, guys, people will praise Jonathan Simmons before they praise Sohan. I swear they will. Insanity. Yeah, I don't understand it either. I don't understand either.
I think there's an NBA player on every team but Iceland. So I think I'm excited for that. There's going to be good competition.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think our team's good. I think for us, you know, even looking back at last summer when we was doing the Olympic qualifiers, I think we just need, you know, we need more time together to build chemistry, to understand each other.
Sebastian said, I think it's homophobia and the fact that he's not a scorer at this point. Yeah, definitely the scorer part. Homophobe. I kind of agree with that too. Like, I mean, he's straight, but it's what do they call, like, queer coded or whatever? I don't disagree with that. It's the same reason why Dennis Rodman, regardless of how much of a monster he was, he got a lot of hate, right? So.
But no, I'm super excited, and I think we can do something.
You just said that you want to prove a lot to yourself. Like, what do you want to prove to yourself? What do you think you need to prove to yourself?
Just playing like myself. Whether for me, again, like we was talking earlier about roles. It wasn't consistent. I think for me.
Sohan lost confidence in his shot last season with Triple I being wide open. Hard to get excited about him after seeing that. He did that a few times. I don't think that it was lost confidence in it. I think that his role shifted. Like, because the San Antonio Spurs, if you notice, he put like a hitch on his shot. I think that they've done with his free throw shooting. I think they were just trying to emphasize a part of the shooting motion for him to focus in on. And for him to be the most efficient, he was able to take more on that power forward type role, and he felt more comfortable just getting into the paint. I don't think that he's like lost confidence in it per se. I think that it's just a process, right? But now we've seen an offseason where that's like been the main focus. Every time we see him, it's shooting,
It's gonna be to just
yeah, exactly. I think he was being conservative with his shot since it had that hitch. I wouldn't say it was lack of confidence. Yeah, that's how I feel. It's a little different. Those are two different things there.
Overall game, and wherever I get put, being able to be successful and lead by example in that whatever role that is.
Yeah, exactly. The point guard experiment is what changed everyone's perspective. He was like before that. I think getting Wemby hurt people's perspective of a lot of people on the team, right? Like, I think a reason why someone like Keldon was getting so much more praise and Fasel was getting so much more praise up till now is because they came at a time right after the whole Kawhi Leonard situation. So we were just kind of grasping at anybody. And we were still somewhat winning. So we were just grasping at anybody that could replace that void in our hearts, right? So they kind of got that amount of love initially, and it just kind of transferred over from year to year. It's like, this is all we have. And then when we got Sohan, it was another example of, okay, we got this player that that we can grow from, right? That we can really set. And then when we got Wemby, that's when a lot of fans were just like, screw everybody. We got Wemby. You're not good enough. You're not good enough. You got to be off my team. And then, yeah, like you said, the point guard experiment didn't help. And then it became the narrative of, is he not passing to Wemby because he's jealous of him? Like, it got ridiculous. It got absolutely ridiculous.
And for me to proving to myself is not only the basketball part, but like we were saying, working on my mental health, working on my body, working on everything. And I think I'm excited to, showcase that in, Eurobasket, and then, lead that, kind of keep that flow going to the season. So, yeah.
Do you see Eurobasket as a big opportunity for you?
100%. I think it's a big opportunity for me to lead, and then also just show, everyone, who Jeremy is.
When you look back,
hate the narrative that everyone was freezing Wemby out. Yeah, I remember going live so constantly, and like, I was like, guys, I don't think. It was two things. Number one, I didn't think anybody on our team wanted to freeze Wemby out. I think that you just never played with somebody to that caliber. And then number two, Wembanyama, why would you want a whole season of just giving him lobs, right? Like, why would you want? Don't you want him to experiment? Don't you want him to be able? Like, why would we do that? Why would we just say, well, the most efficient thing is just to give him a lob every single time, which isn't ideal. Even with Chris Paul, it didn't work out like that. But yeah, it is going to be much easier with Fox and Harper, though. Those guys are ridiculous. They're so good on the pick and roll, and they can put a lot of pressure on the basket. Wemby's going to get a lot of good looks. But still, yeah.
This season, what are the moments that stand out for you?
Good or bad?
Both. Like, if I just say this season,
yeah.
What comes to mind?
Yeah.
Nadon's correct.
What comes to mind? we had a better season than the last 2 years. We won 46 games. The previous 2 years, what was it, like 22 or whatever it was?
How does that mentally?
We won. I thought we won 34. I think we won 34.
My goodness,
Really?
like people forget. Most players come from winning programs. Your whole life you're winning. High school, beating teams by 40, 50. Before I got to Premier, in Premier it's still, we were doing well. EABL, going to high school in America, you're winning, you're ranked. Baylor, we was undefeated for most of the season, number one in the league, and then you get drafted and boom, you're playing 82 games, and we were going through moments where we lost 16 in a row, and you're like, whoa, like you kind of just have to go to the next game and try to win the next game. It's crazy.
Huncho says, I really love Sohan. He wants to be here and he wants to be a winner. Can't believe we have fans that despise him when he wants to bring a chip home. Yeah, I mean, he's a good, and that's the thing. Like everyone on our team right now, personality wise, I vibe with them, right? Like I like our team. I like him a lot. It's not like a DJ situation where like you guys could obviously tell that I don't really like him. But like our players on this team, I love all of them. They all seem great. And then that extra layer of Sohan is actually good for this team. I think he fits, right? The only reason I'm hard on Keldon is because I just don't think he fits. But I like him. I don't hate Keldon, And I think Keldon wants to win too, It's just, I think it's kind of bad when his two best seasons are the seasons where we're really bad, and his two worst seasons are the seasons where we're trying to win. That just seems like you don't fit that well. I know Spurs fans have someone they really love and someone they really hate. I see hate for just about everybody on the team. You know what? Actually, now that you mention it, I guess if I felt a little bit stronger about certain players, we would see a little bit more hate. I think the reason why I see a lot of Sohan hate is because I'm such a Sohan defender. Stop glazing Sohan. There we go again. But yeah, I'm a Sohan defender of sorts, but I actually think he's really good. But I think if I was like, if I really loved Malachi or Blake Wesley or something like that, we would probably see even more hate there on this channel. But yeah.
Yeah, if it was.
What happens to the locker room morale?
I was one of the people arguing with you on Twitter about Sohan. What was your name on Twitter?
Deep losing.
Yeah, no. Sometimes it's tough. I think it depends. For us, we knew we was in this kind of process situation, like learning. We're young, so it was a little easier because we're all around the same age. But like I wouldn't be able to imagine for a team like maybe Phoenix last year. You know what I mean? The stars, older team. I couldn't imagine. I've never seen. The thing is, until this year, I never really had like a proper veteran. Like, now we had Chris Paul, Harrison Barnes, so that was a little more, kind of natural. That's what happens in the NBA. But before that, we were just all young and trying to learn and grow and just yeah.
Chris Paul is going to significantly help this team. Him being here is going to help us for the future for sure.
I think that veteran presence brings to the team. What does it change?
Maturity, I think consistency.
Flonnie Lusk? I don't recognize that name. Was I really angry at you? Sebastian said you're wrong. So yeah, if you were like hating on Sohan, you probably were like super wrong. If you just said, hey, Sohan needs a better jump shot, and it's like, okay. No one disagrees with that.
Understanding the little things, learning from Chris Paul and Harrison.
I agree,
Barnes,
Rubber Ducky.
great. And I had veterans in the past that I learned a lot about, but Chris Paul's a Hall of Famer. The things he saw on the court, like, oh shit, that makes sense. Like, even the way he was talking to refs, like, I've never seen something like that. It's mad.
What does it have to talk to the refs?
It depends. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it was bad. It's like he's got a presence. They know who he is, and they know who we are too as young players. But He's been going, through battles with them, for years, and sometimes I'm like, oh, he just said that to a ref, and nothing happens. They know, like all the referee will like literally say it back to him, and I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. Like, this is sick.
Yeah.
But
You think veterans get a lot more leeway with calls?
Calls, yeah, at times. I think not even veterans, but like stars in the NBA. I think you can kind of see it. I don't think the refs do it on purpose. I think.
No, the refs don't do it on purpose. They definitely don't do it on purpose, I don't think. But that is like, I guess I never really talk about this, but that is a criticism I have of our young guys, is that they really need to go at the refs a little bit more, or like talk to them. I know that Wemby says something where like, I don't try to play politics or something like that. Like I don't. I think that's the word he used, right, chat? Like I don't want to play politics talking to refs, and I don't know. I think that he was criticizing himself, like, hey, I got to learn from that, and I have to start doing that. But they definitely need to focus in on that more.
Try to be as equal as possible, but I think it's tough. And, stars get the ball in their hands way more often than, other certain players. So I think it's easier to see.
His jump shot does look way better.
Like that, but, yeah.
I mean, of course, the other thing is if you've been in the league 20 years and you've got it all in your hands for 20 years, you're going to have way more interactions with the rest. So you build relationships, even if it's subconsciously. They know you. Exactly. They know you don't really mean it if you say something.
Yeah.
Like,
no, it's crazy. I think one thing, that I realized going into the NBA, everyone's got an ego in the NBA. Everyone, players, coaches, referees, people in the organization, everyone's got an ego. So I think that's one thing, the NBA is about, working on your ego and just
honestly, that's like the only reason I give Phil Jackson so much praise, or one of the only reasons I give Phil Jackson a lot of praise, is because he managed ego so well. He managed it so well.
Yeah. When you think about like, again,
I think we should end it right there. We'll get into the other segments of this as well. But that was good. I thought that was really good. Sorry I went in that side tangent about people not bringing up Sohan, but good God, guys, it's like drives me crazy sometimes. But yeah. Let's see. Damien says, I'll still continue to watch your channel, but Sohan is a role player, and role players weren't meant for that picture. Oh, you're talking about that. Oh, the graphic. Sohan is a valuable asset to the team because of his defense, but bro, you had a full-on meltdown about him not being on the graphic with Wemby, Harper, Castle, and Fox. Okay, let me emphasize this, okay? Let me emphasize this. Yes, he's a role player with the potential to be much more than that, but I think he is a role player, right? I agree with you. Wholeheartedly, I agree with you. My bigger issue with that graphic is that it's not just that graphic. It happens all the time in all media. Whether it's graphics that they're posting, whether it's discussions about the Spurs' future, whether even when they're giving us praise for our young core, they don't bring him up. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. And right now, as far as Castle is a role player. Now, will he be better than that? I think he can be. But Castle is definitely a role player. He was in college. He's definitely a role player. Now, I already said what I think his ceiling is. I talked about how good he is, but he's a role player. So, no, it's just a popularity contest, and who knows this player and who they just don't watch. They just don't pay attention. If any Spurs, if any just Spurs fan were to make a graphic and they said, "Hey, Harper's being added to this team," most Spurs fans, if we made that graphic, we would have had our starting five in that graphic. More than likely, people would have Dylan Harper and Castle in the starting lineup, even though I don't know if I would have Castle in the starting lineup because I think Harrison Barnes makes a little bit more sense, but as small forward. But anyways, like most Spurs fans would have had Fox, Harper, Castle, Wemby, Sohan. Well, Sohan then Wemby, right? Like most people would have did that. But because the mainstream media doesn't pay attention, they don't care. But it's in everything. It's not just that one graphic. It's everything. That's just a small part of a bigger picture when it comes to the mainstream media. I don't know. Clan, it's funny you talk about the young core and people not bringing up Sohan, but I see people on TikTok always bring him up. People on TikTok is different than mainstream media. I feel like a lot of like people that actually love the game or actually like truly want to pay attention to San Antonio will bring him up. But so like probably a lot of TikTokers, right, that talk about sports. But overall, as far as mainstream media, they never bring him up. They don't know. They don't know he exists. They don't know. They don't know. They don't watch anything. Calling everything glazing sounds so intelligent and cool. I know, right? But it's not potential, and it isn't just a mid player. Look at the stats of him guarding stars. His defense is elite. He's an elite player, yeah. Oh, and Clan, that's what I mean. Real fans appreciate him. Yeah, real fans of the NBA bring him up. There's a video, you guys should check it out. Hold on, I'll show you. Like NBA fans, true NBA fans do understand how good he is. It's mainstream media. Here's one, Stat Defender. Like Stat Defender. Watch these videos. Well, I haven't seen this one, I don't think. But yeah, watch this video right here. This is a really good video about Sohan, right? And then you can find that, like, if you go through YouTube and people that actually pay attention, you can see that. But this, unfortunately, this isn't mainstream. This isn't what casuals see. You know, casuals aren't jumping on YouTube to look at breakdown videos of players. Like, casuals don't do that. So funny. I had somebody say, I called them a casual, and they were like, I've been a fan since 1992. And I'm like, do you think it matters how long you've been a fan? Being a casual is a lifestyle, okay? You can be a casual and been a fan since the 80s. Like, who cares? That doesn't mean anything. There's people that I've seen in the chat that became a fan like last week, and I feel like they had better takes than somebody who said that they've been a fan for 30 years. It doesn't matter how long you've been a fan. No one cares. It means nothing. That doesn't make you a professional in understanding talent. And if you've been a fan for 30 years and you still say Sohan is bad, then that's embarrassing. I'm sorry, that's absolutely embarrassing. Gilbert Arenas podcast gave Sohan his flowers a few streams ago when they talked about our young core. Okay, that's something we gotta. Honcho, I'm be going, because you know I'm going to Japan next week. I'm gonna be going live one more time tomorrow night. Jump in, let me know where that is, and we'll talk about it. I'm about to head off though. We hit that over hour mark. I got some things I need to do. So I appreciate all the love, guys, but I'm gonna hop off. I'll be back tomorrow night. But yeah, so we'll go over some more stuff. I'll see how many videos we need to do for the trip that I'm gonna be gone, because I might need, I don't know how many segments we're gonna need. We'll see. I'll go look. Ah, there go Caps. You showed up late, Caps. I'm about to go. Too late. Can't make me crash out. It's too late. All right. Love you too, Tony. All right, y'all. Oh, wait. Hey, Clan, I watched Eternal Sunshine. I have it at a 8 out of 10. I reviewed it on Letterboxd. That's what's up. Heck yeah. It's good, man. It's a great movie. I think it's a masterpiece. Everyone should go watch that, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I cried like a baby, bro. I'll be here tomorrow to hate on Sohan. All right, that's cool. All right, y'all.